thought I was done with this shit, making this video, but it's so much of this shit moving in here, y'all. It's way more of this shit moving in than what the fuck I thought. Like, what the fuck is that, bruh? If y'all think y'all finna put me in there, y'all got me fucked up all the way. I'm telling them too, like, boy, you got me fucked up. Boy, I'm not going in there. What the fuck is all that shit, bruh? Y'all don't need all this for no traumatized. This shit look like y'all getting ready to go to war, man. But y'all ain't taking this shit nowhere. This shit happening right here. Who the fuck y'all finna be fighting against? Damn, bro. Like this shit, they got shit to pack people up in, bro. What is them jump out fans? Man, what the? Bro, y'all better get ready, man.
The powers that be have been very busy lately, falling over each other to position themselves for the game of the millennium.
Shalom to the hopeful elect that believes on this gospel through the names of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the head apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught this truth, along with the sincere brethren that is also laboring in his work as well. To you, I say, Shalom. Ezekiel, the 21st chapter, verse 8. And again the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened. A sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, and it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contended with the rod of my son as every tree, and he had given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. Right? The hand of the slayer is dealing with the top nation of Edom, the so-called white people, the top banking families. They rule the earth in wickedness, right? Because it was given to, the world was given into their hands to rule for a certain period of time, and his rulership is coming to an end. So he's about to come down on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives that don't want to turn back into worshiping the true power of Yahweh and his son Yahushua for punishment from the Most High. Psalm 17:13, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So the wicked, so-called white man, alright, it's the sword of the Most High on the left-hand side. And he used that sword to punish you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. That's why you went into captivity by this man, alright? It's because you've been punished by the Most High sword. Verse 14, from men which are at thy hand, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with that hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of the substance to their babes. So who else could that be talking about, other than the so-called white man Esau? It's about to get real rough out here, man, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. Alright? Because the war is going to be upon you. Matthew 24:21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be, and except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And the elect are the ones that turned back and started to worship the true God, Yahweh, and his son Yahushua, and repented from their idol worship. Alright, so for their sake, those days are going to be shortened. Everyone else is going to die in America. Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it would surely come, it would not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Now, whose soul is this talking about? Again, we dealing with Esau, the one who is in power, the wicked, right? Who is the end of this world. He knows that his world is ending, so he's about to come down when you people having great wrath. And he's coming down on the seed of Jacob, all right? Because they have the next rulership. They're going to be the next ones to rule. The seed of Jacob, dealing with so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. And so he does not want to see his rulership coming to an end, because they're going to have to go back into slavery. to serve for all the things that they have done unto the children of Israel, right? Dealing with the seed of Jacob. Revelations 12:12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. All right, so this is talking about the ones that received this gospel and have been covered by the blood of Yahushua, who died for the sins of the elect. All right, the ones whom he's going to gather at the end of all this tribulation. But the ones that have gathered this faith, okay, we are rejoicing because we see that this man's rulership is coming to an end. But for everyone that is outside of this truth, it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down on you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And when you look at this word devil right here, it goes into pretty much a man. All right, this is not talking about a devil that is, on the ground with a pitchfork. All right.
Strong's G1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
All right, and the definition goes into prone to slander. Slander is accusing falsely. All right, false accuser, slander, applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of the Most High, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. Right, this man is a seed of the Satan. He's a seed of Satan. Esau is a seed of Satan. And I want to go back to Revelation 12:12. So it said, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knows that he have but a short time. Right? When you look at this coronavirus, this virus was man-made. It was created in the lab to serve this purpose. All right, so they're waging war on you people from a biological perspective. This is a biological war that they have waged on the people, and this is to kind of cover their hand and to hide themselves and to make it look like it was just some natural disease. When in actuality, it was all plotted by the elites, to wipe out the majority of humanity. And they have Georgia Guidestones that pretty much tell you that they want to wipe out humanity and get the population all the way down to like 550 million, all right, globally. And that means that they had to wipe out at least 6 billion, all right. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right, so this man has been revealed. As you go back to Revelations 12:12, it says the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knows that he had but a short time. How does he know he had a short time? It's because he's been revealed in 2 Thessalonians 2:8. All right, so he's been consumed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth, which was dealing with these prophecies in his book. And the Lord is going to come back and to destroy him with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And that's going to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that don't want to turn back. If you're not going to receive this truth, you're not going to be protected. That's why Revelations 12:12 says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Those are the ones that receive the love of the truth, and they're going to be protected. Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. The perfect are the Israelites that repented and are presented perfect in the spirit, because they turn back to the Most High and stop worshiping these idols. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privately, and that's what they're doing. They say, who shall see them? All right, so they creeping all this military equipment in, and they're getting stationed, they're getting set up, and they're getting ready for martial law, in which they're going to shut these cities down. And the majority of people, you're not going to have any food, you're going to be on lockdown, and you're going to have to eventually take a chip in order for you to eat, which goes into Revelation, the 13th chapter, in the 16th verse. And it says, he calls it all, both small and great, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. That's their RFID microchip. All right, so they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of land snares privately. They say, who shall see them? But they have been figured out by the ones who the Most High has ordained to understand what's going on and to understand the lies that have been perpetuated throughout history. Revelations 12 and 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And this dragon is dealing with the serpent in the garden that grew into a great dragon. Alright, so that serpent in the garden was a man who deceived Eve, the woman. Alright, and she took on the philosophies of this dragon, and it caused sin, to reign on earth. So this same dragon and this same woman is back today. This woman is dealing with the nation of Israel. So the dragon is gonna be wroth with the woman, meaning Esau, the so-called white man, is gonna be wroth with Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. All right, and he's gonna come and make war with the remnant of her seed. And this goes all the way back to Genesis, 3rd chapter, in the 15th verse. I will put enmity, hatred between thee and the woman. All right, between Satan, dealing with Esau, and Israel, and between thy seed, which is dealing with Satan's seed. All right, which are the Edomites, the so-called white people, and her seed, which is dealing with Israel. He's going to put enmity between the serpent seed and the Most High seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. And this is going to Israel, going into tribulation. And in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. All right? And thy desire shall be to thy husband. The Most High is the husband, and Israel is the woman whom the Most High married. All right, so throughout this tribulation, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives are going to have to go through major tribulation, as it is compared to a woman in travail, right before she gives birth to her children. And he shall rule over thee. This is ultimately going to be what's going to happen in the kingdom. All right, you're not going to disobey his commandments anymore. You're going to be made perfect. But before that, you're going to have to go through major tribulation. And that's dealing with the so-called white man coming down with great wrath. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. And that's dealing with that microchip. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And that's going to martial law. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. They shall be tried as gold in the fire. So when this chaos kicks off, the ones who the Most High woke up are going to receive some kind of benefit, which leads me to Isaiah the 59th chapter in the 19th verse. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. The west is dealing with America. Alright, they're going to fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, and the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And this goes back to 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter. Alright, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Going back to Isaiah 59:19. If you click on this, man, if you click on standard, it's going to tell you pretty much the Lord is going to make a way to escape, because these armies, these military troops, man, they're going to come in like a flood, and they're going to start rounding people up, but the man of the Lord is going to be protected. Alright, so this is going to that standard: to flee, escape, to flee, to take flight, to depart, disappear, to fly to the attack, to put to flight, to drive hastily, to cause, to disappear, to hide. So the Lord's going to lift up that standard and make a way for you to escape, whatever way that may be. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. And Jesus Christ is not going to save you out of this situation. That ain't your God. That's Esau's God. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, God is the Most High Yahweh, and his beloved son, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names, so-called black men. Verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment. And it's everyone that denied this gospel and didn't take heed. That's why the Lord said in Zephaniah 2:3, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. So the Lord had his hands extended right now for you to repent from all your idol worshiping in order for you to be protected during the time that's coming up, because these elites have it out for you. 2/3 of your people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives, who are the chosen people, all right, the ones who the Most High chose, and the white man hates you for that because he wasn't chosen, to receive the promise of immortality. And so he wants to knock you off and to prevent you from getting your blessing. And so he sees that his kingdom is coming to an end. Therefore, he's going to come down with great wrath, and he's going to knock off the majority of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives that don't want to come back into the good graces of the Most High and be saved from this damnation. All right? Because ultimately, America is going to be destroyed, and after that, it's going to be the issuing in of the kingdom of heaven. Just the word of Jacob to come. All right? For Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of it to follow. The second Esdras 6 and 9. We are at the end of Esau, the so-called white man's world, and Jacob has next. This is what we are transitioning to. So repent that your sins may be blotted out, all right, and you will be preserved from these said perils that are coming up on the earth. So Lord willing, that was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.